I'm actually looking into some different stuff now, y'all. This is not about law, of course. It's about law. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Correct myself. It's not about court process like child support and stuff like that. It's about consumer law. Okay? I'm looking over my contract, right? And I'm gonna show y'all something. Might want to look over y'all's as well. Show y'all a little something. Kind of make sure I cover up some stuff real quick with these little sticky notes I have here. Just cover up private information. I don't need all that stuff to be out. Okay, I'm looking over some stuff. I went to this car dealership today where I'm purchasing my car from, okay? And I got my car back in October 2020. So, and I'm looking over my paperwork that they emailed me the day that I got the car. No signatures on the paperwork that they sent me. They sent me copies of the transaction, the finance contract. Okay. And I'm noticing something. I've been looking at TikTok. Y'all start looking at TikTok for reasons for educating yourself. We out here teaching each other stuff on a regular basis now. This information is getting out here. We're in the information age and people are starting to learn stuff. Okay. Educating everybody about stuff. You know, many are monetizing the things that they learn. Teaching people the things. Some people are not. But you do with the information what you want to do with it. As for me, I'm going to empower my damn self. So check this out. I'm going to show you something. On this agreement right here, this is my financial, this is the installment contract. Okay? This is the installment contract. Okay? Let me see if I can. Installment contract. Damn. Okay? Notice this finance charge right here. 5618.26. Okay? Notice that. All right? I was just looking at, it was brought to my attention. Now you notice that price there. I look in CFR 12 CFR 1026 under Truth in Lending Regulation Z. You can type this in your Google search and you'll find this. You'll click on it. This is actually the right here, Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. I know I'm behind with a lot of people that's teaching this shit already. It's new to me, but I've been seeing this for months actually, for about a year now. But I was deep into the stuff that I'm into concerning my son. So while I'm waiting to get some movement on that case, since I filed everything I need to file, I thought I'd go and look off into this to stay productive. Okay. Look at what a finance charge is. Okay. Now, hold up. Finance charge. Definition of a finance charge. The finance charge is the cost of consumer credit as a dollar amount. It includes any charge payable directly or indirectly by the consumer and imposed directly or indirectly by the creditor as an incident to or a condition of the extension of credit. It does not include any charge of any type payable in comparison to cash transactions. Okay, so even, let's see, something else I want to say. Let's see, charge a third party. Let me see. There's something else I want to show on here too. Let me see if I can find this here. Hold on a second. Okay, this is what I just read right here. Down here at the bottom, let's see, charges by third parties. Okay, I'm reading the screen directly. I'm holding the phone, trying to freeze my arm so it won't lose the focus of what y'all seeing, and I'm reading what it's showing y'all. So work with me on this. The finance charge includes fees and amounts charged by someone other than the creditor, unless otherwise excluded under this section, if the creditor requires a third party, require the use of a third party as a condition of any incident to the extension of credit, even if the consumer can choose a third party. Just think about it. They're using a bank. You know, all these different. Say if they run your credit, they got like 9 different banks. You go to the dealership, they got like 9 different banks they run your credit with. Okay, it's the use of a third party in the condition. Okay, the use of a third party as a condition of or an incident to the extension of the credit. So that would be sort of like a credit union or a bank or somebody. Okay, even if the consumer can choose a third party, because you can choose whatever bank gave you the best price or whatever, the ones that actually gave you that approved you, then you actually you can choose between those banks. Okay, or retains a portion of the third party charge to the extent of the portion retained. Okay. Number 2. Let's see. Special rule closing agent charges. Fees charged by a third party that conducts the loan closing, such as settlement agents, attorneys, or escrow or title company. Notice that it says title company. I'm noticing that as well. Are finance charges only if the creditor requires the particular services for which the consumer is charged. Okay, requires a particular service for which the consumer is charged. Now keep in mind, requires. We ain't talking about what's optional, but what's required. Requires a particular service. Okay. Requires the imposition of the charge or retains a portion of the third party charge to the extent of the portion retained. Okay, we're not talking about mortgages or whatever, so I'm not worried about that for the most part. Examples of finance charges. Okay, the finance charge. Okay, make sure I keep my phone on the right spot. Okay. Examples of finance charge. The finance charge includes the following types of charges, except for charges specifically excluded by paragraph C through E of this section. These examples of finance charges. Let's see. Number 1, interest, time price differential, and any amount payable under an add-on or discount system of additional charges. Number 2, service, transaction, activity, and carry-on charges, including any charge imposed on a checking or a transaction account, except as let's see. Okay, I was reading some other stuff. Except the prepaid account as defined in 1026.61, to the extent that the charge exceeds the charge for a similar account without credit features. I'm going to pause for a second on this here because I'm getting off my point real quick for this particular video, because I'm reading this entire thing and learning more about what is included, what is included in the finance charge. Okay, now what I'm learning is, let me see if I can find that other part. Let me see if I can find. I'm gonna pause the video so it won't be too long. Hold up. Yeah, I was already there. This is where I stopped up here somewhere, but I scroll down here. As you can see, right in here. Let me see. Here we go, right in here. Now, these are all things examples, examples of finance charges. As you can see, going all the way down here. Let's see. Premiums. Nope. Here we go. Premiums or other charges. Premiums or other charges for any guarantee or insurance, protecting the creditor against consumers' default or other credit loss. That's insurance. They talking about some insurance right there. Okay. Charges imposed on a creditor by another person for let's see, imposed on a creditor. Charges imposed on a creditor by another person for purchasing or accepting a consumer obligation. If the consumer is required to pay the charges in cash as an addition to the obligation or as a deduction from the proceeds of obligation. Then say number 7, premiums or other charges for credit, life, accident, health, or loss of income insurance written in connection with the credit transaction. Now keep in mind, this is insurance right here. They're talking about insurance. Now you know that anytime you go to a car lot, you are required to have your own insurance. So if this is included in the finance charge, if this is included in the finance charge and the car is already insured, why are you required to do insurance as well? So now I'm noticing, going back to my stuff right here, those two are insurance companies. I went back and looked at my paperwork, and it's something I didn't notice back then. See, the first one is Gap. The second one is Gap. The first one is Easy Care. Never know who the hell is Easy Care. And I decided to look up, who is Easy Care? What the fuck is that company? And it's an insurance company. And so is Carco. That's an insurance company. It's Gap Insurance. Now Gap Insurance also shows me that remember how you were told that it's optional Gap contract. I never wanted it. Yet they charged me an extra $850 for Gap Insurance, which was optional. And I was told that I had to have it. This is something I never knew. Now, keep in mind, I also mentioned titles. Remember I talked about titles? Titles right here. That's a title fee right here that was also added in there. $99 for a title. For title. This is all on the breakdown. There's Easy Care. Easy Care added also in there. So here I am paying, and also I'm with Geico. So I'm with Geico as well. Geico is the company that I insured my car with, that I'm aware of. So this car is insured 3 different times out of my pocket. Something I never knew from the start. So this car has been insured on my dime 3 ways. On my dime. This is if this is part of the finance charge and all those things were added, keep in mind you got the installment contract, the finance. When you see this list, this breakdown right here, this is always going to be what's supposed to be included in the installment finance, installment sale contract. That's what it is. The installment sale contract. When you look at your stuff and you see exactly what all they added in there, you take that and you compare it with your actual contract, your real contract. Well, I guess the one that you actually signed. Cause what they did was they emailed me something that was not signed. Had none of my signatures on it at all. Carco that's that Gap company. But this is what they emailed me when I first got the car. But there are no signatures. Notice there are no signatures on here at all. So I went up there and got the copies with my actual signatures on there. And when I went up there and got the copy with my actual signatures on there, they only gave me 3 out of 4 pages. They didn't give me the 4th page. The 4th page they gave me, the 4th page was missing when they gave me, so I guess that's the document that they actually monetized. Because that they securitized. Let me straighten that out. Because they didn't give me everything. Everything they gave me copies of The things that they gave me copies of was not equivalent to everything they emailed me. So he didn't give me everything that the signature was supposed to be on. So it lets you know that they're doing some. And I also, you're supposed to also receive a copy. You're also supposed to receive a copy of a rescission notice. You're supposed to receive a rescission notice when you get a car as well. You're supposed to receive a right to rescind notice. Matter of fact, I'm gonna show y'all that. Here we go. Right of rescission right here. This would be also, as you can see, 12 CFR 1026. Put that in your Google search, and we're still on the same website, Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. You see right here. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna read this first, but this ain't what I was gonna. I'm gonna start off with this part. Okay, it says, in a credit transaction in which a security is or will be retained, or will be retained or acquired in a consumer's principal dwelling, each consumer whose ownership interest is or will be subject to the security interest shall have the right to rescind the transaction except for transactions described in paragraph F of this section. We ain't got down there. We're at A right now. Okay, F of this section. For the purposes of this section, the addition to the existing obligations of a security interest in a consumer's principal dwelling is a transaction. The right of rescission applies only to the addition of the security interest and not the existing obligation. The creditors shall deliver a notice required by paragraph B, and I'm gonna get to that, of this section, but not need to deliver new material disclosures. Okay, they have to deliver a notice. A notice required. I'll show you. Delivery of the required notice shall begin the rescission period. I never received that, so there is no rescission period right now because I never received a rescission notice. Okay. To exercise the right of rescission, a consumer, trying to get this a little closer so y'all can see this. Okay. To exercise the right of rescission, a consumer shall notify the creditor of the rescission by mail, telegram, or other means of written communication. The notice is considered given when mailed, when filed for telegraphic transmission, or if sent by other means, when delivered to the creditor's designated place of business. Okay, that's when you're trying to send a right to rescind rescission notice. So once you send it to them, that's when the period starts. When you actually you're exercising your right to rescind. Okay. Let me go to the part where the notice is. Let me go back to the notice first, and then I'll get to the other part. Okay. Notice of right to rescind. It says, in a transaction subject to rescission, a creditor shall deliver 2 copies of the notice of the right to rescind to each consumer entitled to rescind. One copy to each of the notice is delivered in electronic form in accordance with the consumer's consent and other with the consumer consent and other applicable provisions of the e-sign Act. Let's see. The notice shall be on a separate document that identifies. Keep in mind, it says a separate document that identifies the transaction and shall clearly and conspicuously disclose the following. This is what it has to have on there. Everything that's on it. Say the retention and acquisition of a security interest in the consumer's principal dwelling, the consumer's right to rescind the transaction, how to exercise the right to rescind, with a form that with a form for that purpose, designating the address of the creditor's place of business, the effects of the rescission as described in paragraph D of this section, and say the date the rescission period expires. Say proper form of notice. It says that to satisfy the disclosure requirements of paragraph B1 of this section, the creditor shall provide the approximate model form in Appendix H of this part, or substantially similar notice. Okay, delay of the creditor's performance. Say unless the consumer waives the right of rescission under paragraph E of this section, no money shall be dispersed other than in escrow. No services shall be performed, and no materials delivered until the rescission period has expired and the creditor is reasonably satisfied that the consumer has not rescinded. Okay, now so once you start the rescission process, this takes effect right here. You see that for yourself. Okay, this is it right here. Now, effects of rescission. When a consumer rescinds a transaction, the security interest gives rise to the right of rescission. And the security interest giving rise to the right of rescission becomes void, and the consumer shall not be liable for any amount, including any finance charge. Okay. Within 20 calendar days after receipt of the notice of rescission, the creditor shall return any money or property that has been given to anyone in connection with the transaction, and shall take any action necessary to reflect the termination of the security interest. They got 20 days to move. Okay, you see that for yourself now. This ain't Emerald's talking. This is what these people are saying. This is what the law is saying, and this is federal code right here. And so they're just showing you what it says. Okay. Okay. Now, I'm going to go up to consumer's waiver of right to rescind. Let me see. What was I going to show you all? Something else I was going to show. But anyway, bottom line is they were supposed to send me a notice to let me know I had the right to rescind the contract. I never received that. Okay, I never received that, which was a violation. I was supposed to receive that. That's a violation, according to the law. I was supposed to receive it. Let me see. What else? It was something else I was going to show you. So number one, I'm seeing that. Notice, y'all, when you see finance charge written on you, the finance charge does include insurance. So you put insurance on the car before you leave the lot, that's already insured. Number two, it's already paid for when you actually, when you gave them the Social Security number and you signed off on the application in the first place. They securitized that already, so it's paid for. And I'm going to tell you how it's paid for. I'm going to show you. I'm gonna show you. Okay, here we go. What does that say? The term credit card means any card, plate, coupon book, or other credit device existing for the purpose of obtaining money, property, labor, or services on credit. Did you not give them your Social Security card to obtain credit, to obtain property or services on credit? That's how you already paid for the damn thing, because you gave them the Social Security number and you signed off on the thing for giving them permission to use that information to obtain credit. So your signature and that social security number is what paid for the damn credit. That's what paid for the car from the get-go. And this goes much deeper than this video because I ain't gonna go farther than this. Not today. But I remember when I totaled a car one time. Back when I did some Uber work years ago. Back in 2020 before I got this car, another car I was driving. And a car ran head on to me. Head on on me. And I ended up having to, it was total. Okay, it was total. And the company that hit me, of course, they were trying to get out of having to pay for the car. So what they were doing, they were trying to go with the Kelly Blue Book value of the car, and trying to only pay what the Kelly Blue Book value of the car was instead of what I was paying on the car to make me whole. They were going to try to leave me with the remaining debt and only pay the Kelly Blue Book value. And what they did was send me a power of attorney document that was supposed to be like, supposed to give them power of attorney with this little title, like on bond paper or whatever. And I was supposed to sign it, get it notarized, and mail it back to them. And now keep in mind that would have gave them power of attorney to leave me with the remaining debt. The remaining debt was like $8,000 something or some shit like that. It was. I wasn't finna pay shit for a car I ain't got. I'm not finna do that. And keep in mind, as y'all see for yourself, gap insurance is optional. You don't have to have gap insurance. Y'all saw that for yourself in the installment contract. But the thing is, and I don't entertain the option of doing this gap shit. I just don't do that. And I'm not finna pay for a car I don't have if I lost the car because somebody else hit me and tore my car up. The other company who hit me, their insurance company is going to make me whole. I'm not signing over my rights to them for them to leave me with the remaining debt while they go and fix the car and go sell it and make more money and don't take no losses. Take us very minimum loss. That's not happening to Emeralds, not me. So I didn't sign it. I actually responded to him in writing and told him exactly that. So I never did do that. Instead, I did a 1099A online with 1099online.com. I did that, a 1099A. I did that on there, along with me sending that notice to him. And that's pretty much, I carried on about my business. And when I got this car, I wasn't studying that damn car. And so I got a letter in the mail by the company that I was paying the car note to. True story now. I wish I could find that damn paperwork. That happened so many years ago. I might can find it around here somewhere. But I made a video about it. Someplace. I have to look and see. But bottom line is they sent me a paperwork basically saying congratulations to, your car is for finish paying out your note or whatever, finishing the basically I paid the car off when I did that 1099 process, and that's what I did, and I moved on with it. But and I wish I could find that damn paperwork. But anyway, this video is long enough. But that's what I did, and that's how I got rid of that remaining debt on that other car. And I didn't sign over power of attorney to that company that was going to try to throw that debt on me. I don't give nobody power of attorney or nothing. Now, obviously, I'm gonna have to revoke power of attorney to this company right here if I'm gonna try to do any type of rescission. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna have to do that in order to move on this matter right here, because there's some dealer fraud going on here, and I'm looking deeper into it, and I'm gonna have my ducks in a row when I move on it. So I just want to make sure I kind of make this video to kind of let y'all know what Emeralds is up to. But if you haven't liked and subscribed already, go ahead and do that. I'm gonna let that be it for this, because video almost 30 minutes long, and I wasn't intending for it to be this long. Y'all know I get kind of long-winded with these videos, but I like to keep the content coming. When I share the information that I know, do with this information what you please. If you got something you want to share and you want to hit me privately, if you want to, hit me at dunamusmichaels@gmail.com. That is dunamusmichaels@gmail.com. I mean, just so y'all, let me see. So y'all so y'all can see it yourself. Some of y'all, hold on a second. I'm gonna show y'all something. Here we go. Here we go. Dunamis Michaels at gmail.com. Hit me up and we'll go from there. Okay? Just because I don't like to spell it all the time, y'all be done misspelled it or whatever. But if you got something you want to hit me up with, hit me up privately and we'll talk. And I'll see y'all in the next video, y'all. Emrose signing out.